Hey everyone, Neal here. Before the game gets started, just wanted to let everyone know to please check out our bonus mini-series. We did a video bonus mini-series called Bloodsport, and it's going to be premiering Saturday, September 1st at 1 p.m. And where can people find it, Jeff?
So they can go to our Facebook page. You can find us on our YouTube channel. We're going to be doing a 5-part mini-series, so 5 bonus episodes, all video content. We'll also be releasing the audio after that, but you can check it out there, and that'll be the entire month of September. And people, you guys reached out. You said we wanted to do a video format, so we listened, and we are going to deliver. So please check us out Saturday, September 1st. And if you only want to listen to the audio version will drop the following day. But we encourage you to check out the video version. It should appear in your normal podcast feed.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neal, and I'm joined in the studio with the hosts with the most since Jeff Probst, as usual. Jeff, Ken, and Matt, how's it going?
Well, that was really nice, Neal.
Yeah, thank you.
Off the cuff.
You're welcome. Well,
Great
yeah,
job.
Jeff, that was improv, little Jeff Probst reference there. Probably one of their longest running hosts. I don't know. That's for another trivia
Would
day.
you say he survived the longest on that network?
I think he would. He's still on the island, so
No, you make jokes like that, we'll vote you off the studio. So.
Well, bye.
Even though it's your apartment.
Yeah, right, exactly. Kick me out of my own apartment. And I also would like to introduce from Skype, we have Michael Turner, a Cruiserweight champion. He's coming to us from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. How's it going, Michael?
Good, gentlemen. How are you doing tonight?
Doing great. Thank you for joining us. And also for joining us in the studio, Paul McLaughlin from Brick, New Jersey. How you doing?
Doing well, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to come visit us on your vacation, spending it with 4 dudes in an office.
Probably like the 8,000th best Illinois tourist attraction is this apartment. So,
according to TripAdvisor, yeah. I did want to make a quick announcement, something we're super proud of and very happy with. Since January, Matt can correct me if I'm wrong, but since January we moved over to Podbean, and since that date, we've had 100,000 listens.
Yeah.
We just cracked. So it's pretty crazy.
Sweet.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We definitely didn't think we would get over 100. So, it's magnitudes more than. So we appreciate everyone who's ever downloaded an episode. You don't have to listen. You just have to download.
Right.
That's all. We're just looking for those numbers.
It's basically just all.
Probably better if you don't listen.
Yeah,
in fact.
just keep clicking on old episodes too. We don't mind.
I think that's what Ken's mom meant by Click Farm.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's helping us. So
I mean, the fact that Matt used orders of magnitude correctly, it makes me so happy and so proud.
I've come a long way since episode 1.
He ain't dumb.
I never said he was, but it makes my heart sing.
So let's start with Paul. What do you do and how did you find the show?
I do more or less nothing. I'm retired.
Oh, wonderful.
I worked for a long time for a large company. Not to delve too far into it, I had an accident, kind of knocked me for a loop for quite a while. So I've just been kind of taking it easy for the past couple of years.
Go.
So
Nothing wrong with that.
Nice work if you can get it. But how did I find the podcast? At Geek Bowl, actually.
Oh, really?
When we were walking in the door, you had some ladies out there handing out cards. And
Got him.
Yeah.
I was there too. You probably weren't looking at me. I get it.
That's so funny. Yeah, because when we were doing it, we're like, we're never going to know if these work. And thank you for saying that, though.
They
that's
worked.
Great. Yeah, that's so funny.
I saw that and I thought, you know what? I keep hearing about these podcast things. Oh, they got trivia for podcasts now. All right, let me take a look at this.
Sweet.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, yeah, thank you to Quinn Madden. I believe she goes to Emerson, the basketball team.
We know next year I'm gonna be in Vegas with the cards, flicking them like they do.
Yep. Yeah, there will not be any scandalous pictures on them, though. Or maybe we should put some on there, men and women, just to entice everyone.
Or if we could just get Chris Angel to do tricks with them, we'll be...
Yeah, just
Maybe a
levitate.
little banana hammock action on the card.
Yeah, pull some David Blaine tricks.
Street magic.
What about you, Michael? What do you do and how'd you find us?
I'm currently a technical director for the CBS television station in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Cool.
WBTW. I've been doing that for 15, 16 years now. Basically what I do is I punch all the buttons because everything's automated these days. It's all computer codes. But if you see like an anchor's looking at the wrong camera or there's a graphic up over their face, that's my fault.
Oh, I thought you just like press play Big Bang Theory, and then it goes.
No, that's the master control operator, but yeah, there's plenty of that.
Well, I know all about that from my history in television and from live switching our upcoming video episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
there
and Ken
you go.
share some qualities there, and a beard maybe. I don't know.
You ever live switch Papa Roach?
I've never live switched Papa Roach. No,
Gotcha.
that would be my last resort.
Yes.
But yeah, I found you guys through the fine folk over at Trivial Warfare. They gave you guys a high recommendation.
Good deal.
Oh, well, thank you.
Fine folk indeed.
And yeah, I'm currently still going through the backlog. I finished, I think, Game of Death 4 on my trip up to see my girlfriend in North Carolina this weekend.
Nice.
Oh, well, wonderful. Thank you for being a listener of the show. I'm going to be hosting today. I put a game together right down to the wire. I'm definitely getting by with a little help from my friends. There's some listener-submitted questions we have here. Also some other friends of the show and friends that no one knows about giving me questions, which I'll get to. But yeah, let's throw it over to the rules guy just to reiterate what the rules of the show are.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
Just pointing at Ken to make it.
Oh, what an outstanding read today, gentlemen.
Awkward, silent.
What an outstanding read today, gentlemen.
I can't
kills it.
even anymore.
What's crazy is he was doing it on his iPhone on a highway, but you couldn't hear anything.
Couldn't hear the noise.
Yeah.
Turns out cars are a decent place to record.
We have 2 teams. It's going to be Michael and Ken as the Hart Foundation in honor of the tragic passing of Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. And the other team is going to be Jeff and Paul as, what was the name of it again?
Paul is from New Jersey, so we figured it would be only appropriate for...
The Devils.
The Devils!
The Putties. That's Putty, right? Who said
Yeah,
that?
Yeah.
So, the Devils versus the Hart Foundation. So, here we go with round 1. Here's your first question. In 2015, a couple in England bought a Beanie Baby at a flea market in Bude, Cornwall for $15 and immediately threw it up on eBay hoping to fund a down payment on a new home. This particular plastic-filled fabric creation went into production in 1997, was encrusted with a single white rose, and was made to honor what figure whose name was on the foundation where the profits were sent?
You got this, Paul?
Yeah, I got this one.
Okay.
Yeah, so these guys are locked in. I'm pretty sure it's Princess Diana. Does that sound right to you, Michael?
That was one of 2 names that popped up in my head. The other is Mother Teresa, but yeah, I would 75% say Princess Diana.
Okay, we're going to go with Princess Diana.
All right, and Team the Devils?
Yeah, we went Princess Diana as well. That seriously overshadowed Mother Teresa.
Yep, it is Princess Diana, yeah. So it was a pretty funny story that I'd read if anyone who collected Beanie Babies in the early 90s or late 90s.
Or still does.
Or still does, Matt. You can see Matt's car driving around with a bunch of Beanie Babies in the back window.
I wouldn't mind if we sent some of those to people, Matt, because I have probably about 1,000 still.
Yeah, mine.
Including some of the bears.
So
if you have multiple thousands of Beanie Babies, just sell them. Because you'll make multiple thousands of dollars.
Even at $1 a piece.
Yeah, just sell whatever you have.
All right, well, number 2, speaking of royalty, if Queen Elizabeth were to abdicate the throne as of the reading of this question, who would be 4th in line to rule?
These are always so tricky.
Ken, I think I have a guess, but I'm going to let them lock in first.
Okay.
So it looks like Team the Devils is struggling here, but I think Michael might be onto something over in Myrtle Beach. We'll have to wait and see.
You're on kind of a British kick with these questions so far.
Actually, I had a bunch of questions I wrote in my phone that I always do, like little notes, and I had like 8 British ones. I was like, man, I gotta pull these down.
Burn through some British royalty questions.
We should have an all British episode.
I'll do an all British one.
Bring Eddie on.
Yeah. Oh, then we'll lose. We'll write questions that he'll know easily.
Yeah.
Didn't my friend Austin defeat me in a Game of Death category?
He did.
Oh, he did.
The
You're
UK?
right. You're right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll lock in.
So these guys are locked in. So Michael had a good read on this one. I can go 2 ways on this. Did you want to explain your thinking, and then I'll tell you what I'm thinking?
Absolutely. one of the many trivia apps that I do asked this question a couple weeks ago, but they asked it as who is fifth in line, and the answer was little Louis, the youngest born. So I'm pretty sure that it goes Prince Charles, Prince William, and then Big Willie Styles' kids. So fourth would be Princess Charlotte.
What has to happen for Harry to take the throne? That whole family needs to get wiped out?
I believe that is accurate.
That's dark. It's probably quite difficult for him to reason that in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's got Meghan. He's fine.
It's not really a burden that he cares about.
all right, we're going to go with Charlotte.
All right, Devils.
Yeah, we said Charlotte as well.
Just like Michael said, it would be Prince William, then it would be Prince George. I'm sorry, excuse me, it'd be Prince
Charles,
Prince William, Prince George, and then William's daughter, Princess Charlotte, is the answer. Correct.
Cool.
All right, moving right along to number 3. Take the first name of the co-creator of Seinfeld and the last name of the current head coach and offensive coordinator of the Houston Texans, and you'll have the name of what coveted sports achievement?
I got the names, Ken.
Okay, we're locked in.
Oh, yeah.
Co-creator of Seinfeld, it would be
Larry David.
It would be Larry David, and I believe O'Brien is the one. So I think the Larry O'Brien Trophy is for the NBA Finals winner. Or
I'm good with that.
I think it's Larry O'Brien. Yeah,
But I agree that the answers are Larry and O'Brien.
You
so.
say for what achievement? Is that correct?
Yep, two acceptable answers. Yep, what coveted sports achievement?
Larry O'Brien, we'll lock in.
Perfect.
Okay, and Team Heart Foundation?
It's absolutely Larry O'Brien. But he's right. It's something having to do with basketball. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Good, I wasn't alone.
Larry David, Bill O'Brien, Larry O'Brien.
Yes, it's the Larry O'Brien Trophy, or also known as the NBA Championship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so it looks like we're going back to Britain here. Meet Andrew Ridgeley. One day he is half of a famous British pop duo. The very next day his partner gave it all away to have an even more successful solo career. What famous group put him on the map?
Good, Ken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm locked in.
All right, is it Oasis?
It is not, in fact, Oasis. You want to think more spandex, more loud colors, more 80s, more Wake Me Up Before You Go-Go. The answer is Wham.
Okay, we're going to go with Wham.
We are also going with Wham with the exclamation point.
I like the I like the attention to detail there. It is Wham, correct.
Both teams 4 for 4 to start.
Yep, I did say it was going to be a hard game, but but it'll be fun, I think. So if you guys make sure to Google Andrew Ridgeley, because his career after Wham was pretty crazy. He became like I want to say it was like a goat cheese farmer or milk farmer. I have to look up the details, but it's really interesting life. So just look it up. It's a good read.
What happened to the other guy? Oh, does anyone know?
Oh. I don't know.
Many bathroom meetings.
Can you read the next question in a careless whisper for me?
This question. This question was sent in by Ellie Streifer, question 5, one of many today. So thank you, Ellie. Often, common figures of speech will be mixed together, and the meanings of those phrases will change. An example of this is, I'll burn that bridge when I get to it, which is an amalgam of I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, and don't burn your bridges. What is this linguistic phenomena called?
We could tell you didn't write that question.
Do you have any idea on this one?
No, I know. I think Paul and I are thinking of the same thing. I know what it is when you smash two words together. But
I have a word in my head. I don't think it's right, but it's good enough for a guess if you want to lock in and let these guys talk.
I'm fine with that, buddy.
Okay, thanks. We're locked in.
Okay.
I'm just writing down my wrong ansers and crossing.
I do the same thing where it's like I'm trying to empty my brain of those thoughts. Yeah.
It's not a spoonerism, which is what 3 words into the question I was like, oh, that's where he's going. It's not a portmanteau.
No, because the portmanteau is when the words combine.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a distinct word for that kind of morphology, but I can't.
Morphology. Word of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Bing.
Is it mighty morphology?
Ooh.
The Heart Foundation has you in a leg lock. You gotta tap, buddy.
That'd be a sharpshooter, actually.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
We got you in a sharpshooter, whatever that is.
Yeah.
10 points to Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to be kicking myself in 10 seconds, but all right, tap.
All right, so Team the Devils is tapping. What do you say, Ken?
Just the word malapropism popped into my head, so that's just a guess.
You were very, very close.
Misapropism?
Very close. It was malaphors.
Oh.
Malaphors. All right. So thank you, Ellie. All right. Next question. To some, they exist everywhere. To others, they might not exist at all. But if you ask Disney and their trilogy-making machine, you would certainly find benevolent celestial beings in 3 specific areas used regularly in sports. Name 2 of them.
They're riddles.
I think I know what he's going with here, but yeah, let's let the Devils ring it out first.
Okay.
Just so I'm clear on this, there is a trilogy of movies, and you are looking for 2 of them, correct?
Yep, trilogy of movies, looking for 2 of them.
Okay. I was not even aware there was more than the one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, we can go with that. I've got nothing better. I was trying to think of other movies that might be different, but nothing that's in a trilogy, so...
All right, yeah. We good to lock that in?
Yeah, I think we're good.
So I didn't even know that this was a movie question. Do you want to explain how this is working, Michael?
In my brain, and again, I could be way off. I know that he's asking about angels in the outfield, but he's also talking about 3 very specific positions on the baseball field. So to me, that would signal left field, right field, and center field. Unless there's angels at shortstop, which I have never heard of, which could very well be the case. But to me, the answer would be left field, right field, and or center field.
Oh, okay. I wonder if the other angels in the outfield movies focus on different sports, kind of like Air Bud.
That's entirely possible as well.
Is he asking for movie titles?
Yeah,
Neal knows.
I'll either accept the movie title, or in the titles there are specific areas used in sports.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, give me two of those.
So I think it's how about angels in the end zone and angels in the outfield?
All right, let's go with that.
Okay, Team the Devils.
Okay, we definitely went angels in the outfield, and on a wild guess, we went angels in the backfield.
All right, well, one team is getting points. The movies are Angels in the Outfield, Angels in the Infield, and Angels in the End Zone.
Ooh.
So,
Nice, good pull, Ken.
Wow.
It wasn't a poll, or I pulled it from somewhere.
It came from.
Some unnamed nether
Those are
region.
those straight to DVD sequels that everyone forgets about.
yeah, and Christopher Lloyd
I didn't
was
even
in
know about them.
was in one of them. He was in the Angels in the End Zone, and then they did the Infield.
He didn't make it back to the infield.
He did not. No. All right. So question 7 is coming to us from Cruiserweight champion Matt Doherty. And here's your question. Thank you, Matt. Though she was primarily known as a disco singer, Martha Wash found herself on a Billboard hit in 1990 with Gonna Make You Sweat, Everybody Dance Now by CNC Music Factory. I'm adding this little bit. It was one of the songs I auditioned with to be Herky, University of Iowa. All right. However, she began her career as one half of the group 2 Tons of Fun, later known as the Weather Girls, who sang this iconic 1982 disco song.
Ken, I got you, bud.
Yeah.
There's so much
We're
of that
good.
that I was like, oh, it's gonna be the Weather Girls. It's gonna be this, and then it was not.
All right. So let's start with Team the Devils.
Well, when you think about weather, you think about rain. And I hope this isn't the case, but it was raining men. So,
All right. And Team Hart.
Absolutely, 100%. It's Raining Men.
Hallelujah.
All right. Composed by Paul Schaefer. It is It's Raining Men.
I imagine that wouldn't all go down the drain very easily.
Have you ever heard the bit about what other song is that same song, just from a different perspective?
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Oh my god.
Drowning Pool.
I like that. Yeah, that's a perfect trailer song for a horror movie. Any horror movie, just put that song in, it's fine. All right, next question, number 8. I did have about like 4 weapon questions, so I had to bring it down to 1. So just, I don't know why, but I was in a weapon and a British mood for some reason. As the issue rifle in the U.S. Army and the U.S. Marine Corps, it was known as U.S. Rifle Caliber 30 M1, but it is commonly known by what name after its Canadian-American designer? Jeff's getting excited over here.
We're locked in.
Table rose a few inches. All right. So they're locked in. Let's go to Michael and Ken.
I don't have too much of a guess on this one. Do you?
Nor do I, unfortunately.
I was listening to a podcast that was talking about the Winchester a little bit. I don't know if he means the standard issue now.
You can wait for it all to blow over.
Well done.
I don't believe it's Tim Horton, is it?
He did a lot of amazing things, but I don't think this is one of them.
Yeah, he makes coffee and guns.
Winchester is as good a guess as any I have, unfortunately. If you want to go with that, I'm fine
Yeah,
with
that's
that.
fine.
The only thing rattling around in my head was howitzer, and I don't think that's right. It's more German.
All right, you're in with Winchester. Let's go to Devils.
I'll kick this one over to Paul, although I think we both simultaneously wrote this one down.
Yeah, that we did. You say M1 to me. The only thing that comes to my mind is playing Medal of Honor and the M1. Excuse me, the M1 Garand. If I'm pronouncing that right.
Well, so the Winchester, bolt action, and they're talking about the M1 Garand, which if you played video games or seen movies, it's the one that goes dunk 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 cling because the spring shoots out, and it is the M1 Garand. Yep. I think Ken's going to like this next one, or he won't. Either way, we'll see. If fictional prisoner 24601 was allowed to have art in his cell, I would venture a guess that Rene Magritte's 1958 piece, The Golden Legend, would not be his first choice, due to the fact that this particular piece of art showcases what?
I have a lot to say on this one, but I don't know the answer, but maybe we can talk our way into it together.
That's
okay.
Yes.
Give it a shot.
95% certain we have the right character now.
But I'm sorry. What was the question?
What is in the painting?
Right.
Yep.
Right.
What's in the painting? As famously said by Brad Pitt. What's in the painting?
The golden what?
The Golden Legend.
Golden Compass.
This is one of those things that I know a couple of key facts about it, but I have never seen or read.
Nor have I. No. But I happen to know that little tidbit. So.
All right. Looks like the Devils are locking in with a guess here, so I think we're free to talk. I think the prisoner number is from Les Miserables.
Okay.
Have you seen that or read it or anything?
I have not, unfortunately. No, I'm not very familiar with.
I have not either. I know that the fact about that prisoner number, but I have not seen it. Rene Magritte was a surrealist painter. He painted the painting with the guy with the apple over his face, so I'd figure the guy in prison might be pretty hungry, so maybe an apple would disturb him. He painted a couple paintings with pipes involved, and
it's not a pipe.
It's not a pipe.
I like apple fine as an answer.
Yeah, I think that
you know a lot more about Magritte than I do. They just mentioned it about Fauvism is the only thing I know about Magritte.
I think the one with the apple might be the Golden Legend, so let's go with apple.
All right, Devils.
We knew Jean Valjean, we knew Les Mis. Couldn't get it much further than that. As soon as you mention Magritte, and what he does, that makes total sense. Apple, I would never come up with that on my own, but so we just went with key.
Key. All right. Well, Rene Magritte did paint a green apple. It was not in the Golden Legend. But the clue there was prisoner 24601, who is Jean Valjean in Les Mis. And if you were in jail, the worst thing would be reminded of why you were there in the first place. And it's because it is of loaves of bread, what he stole to get in jail.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Loaves of bread. All right. And the final question of the first round. After cutting ties with their manager amidst a tumultuous legal battle, this music act's third studio album debuted in 2000 atop the Billboard 200 with first week sales of 2.4 million copies, setting a record for 1 week sales that lasted 15 years until Adele surpassed it with her album 25.
I think I like this one better.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay. That's fine.
All right, these guys are in. So my initial thought was like BSB or NSYNC.
Knowing
is that where you're at?
Yeah. I would be more. I'm 90% sure it's NSYNC. Backstreet Boys had big albums, but none were as big as NSYNC's No Strings Attached.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
And we went the other route. We went Backstreet Boys.
All right, so the clue here, cutting ties with their manager. Their manager, both for Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, was Lou Pearlman, who founded them. But this band, because they were better, cut ties with Lou Pearlman and named their album No Strings Attached. So that would be NSYNC.
We're back, baby.
I think Millennium was 99, right, for Backstreet Boys?
Sounds about right, yeah.
That's correct.
But as Michael said, No Strings Attached, just like far and away, kind of blew the other albums out of the water as far as sales were concerned.
Thanks for the save on that one.
Quite welcome.
All right, and with that, Hart Foundation takes a lead going into the swing round, 70-60. So high-scoring round.
Awesome. Well, so for the swing round today, I had a bunch of different ideas. I wasn't sure what to do. Kind of just fell into this swing round. I don't really know what to call it. Could be called either or. Could be called Avenue Q, based on the fact that there are two different ways of getting to the same location. But just wanted to mention that some of these questions were helped out by Ryan Clefcorn Myers. And the reason I say that is by the time this episode airs, you will have seen the premiere of our bonus miniseries called Triviality Bloodsport. So if you haven't seen it yet, Make sure to watch the video version on Facebook, on our group, The Crop.
Or on our YouTube channel.
Or you can listen to the audio versions. But we hope you're enjoying it, and you want us to do a second season, so we'll see. All right, and just for the record, some answers one might be plural, one might not be plural, but as long as you give me the answer, it makes sense. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Number 1, common generic name for petroleum jelly or diss track ammo by Ice Cube.
Okay.
Number 2,
I like that one.
F1 supercar designer or bar from How I Met Your Mother. Number 3, the man behind ER's Dr. Carter or son of Lamech and father of Shem. Number 4, Navy Rear Admiral, computer scientist, and feminist icon, or the villain in A Bug's Life. Number 5, famous Westerly Cornwall landmark, or clothing company who divorced with Sears. Number 6, royal friend of the Pevensie children, or a.k.a. Mazandarin Sea. Number 7, writing utensil used for emphasis or cosmetic used to make one's appearance brighter. Number 8, first track shoe by Nike, or conquistador who defeated the Aztec Empire. Number 9, a Phoenix sports team or defunct division of the Ford Motor Company. And number 10, an important Mormon angel or the capital of Comoros. Okay, all of the answers are locked in after the swing round. We're still not sure what we're calling it, either or whatever have you. So let's just go down one by one.
How about As You Like It?
I like it. As You Like It. Let's do that. So the first one was a personal favorite of mine, just because I love the diss track by Ice Cube. It's a great piece of work. So I basically was looking for the generic name for petroleum jelly or a lyric from a diss track by Ice Cube. Let's start with Team The Devils.
With this one, we are F&M with no Vaseline.
All right. And Team Heart Foundation.
I can't top that. Yeah, it's Vaseline.
It is Vaseline. That's correct. I was trying to think of another way to put this clue, and originally it was going to be Ice Cube telling the members of NWA to get, and I was trying to think of a good way to say it with no Vaseline, but I couldn't, so I turned it into this. All right, number 2, it was a F1 supercar designer or the bar from How I Met Your Mother, Team Devils.
We went McLaren.
One of my favorite automotive designers.
All right.
And favorite fictional bard.
All right, and Team Heart.
Yep, McLaren.
It is McLaren or McLaren's. That's correct. Number 3, the man behind ER's Dr. Carter or the son of Lamech and father of Shem. Team Devils.
That'd be Noah.
All right, and let's go to Michael for Team Heart.
Yes, Dr. Carter played by Noah Wiley. Correct answer is Noah.
It is Noah. Was I pronouncing those names correct? I'm not sure. Aaron will probably correct us. Lamech and Shem. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Curly and Mo. Okay.
Not quite.
All right. Number 4 was the Navy Rear Admiral, computer scientist, and feminist icon or villain in A Bug's Life. Let's start with Team Heart.
We finally came up with the grasshopper in Bug's Life being named Hopper.
Okay. And Team Devils?
Yeah, glad you had the Bug's Life clue in there, and that led us to Hopper.
All right, it is Hopper, and the feminist icon was Grace Hopper.
Let's never forget that Bug's Life is actually just 7 Samurai.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. It is 7 Samurai.
Better than Ants.
Pretty solid.
Everyone agrees, right?
Ken prefers the subtitled version of A Bug's Life, though.
Yeah. In the original Japanese, please.
Number 5, the famous Westerly Cornwall landmark or clothing company who divorced with Sears, Team Heart.
Well, we knew that it used to be Sears Roebuck, and that's as far as we could get, so we're going with Roebuck.
All right, Team Devil?
Same here. Sears and Roebuck. So we went Roebuck.
All right, so this one I figured would trip up some people. So in Cornwall, there's a landmark. It's a famous sign in the westerly point of Cornwall of England there. It's called Land's End. And Sears used to have Land's End clothing that they no longer are technically partnered with. So
that would make sense.
Yeah, Land's End.
Aren't you the tricky one?
I try. Number 6, the royal friend of the Pevensie children, or a.k.a. Mazandarin Sea. Let's start with Team Devil on this one.
And you can just move right on, because we got a big fat nothing
We
here.
didn't have an inroad on this one. So.
Okay. All right, and Team Heart?
Michael informed me that the Pevensie children were from Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, and we're going to guess their friend is Aslan.
You were on the right track. The Pevensie children also are friends with a prince whose name is Caspian.
Caspian, yeah.
All right. Number 7, writing utensil used for emphasis or cosmetic used to make one's appearance brighter. Team Heart. Start with you on that one.
It's going to be the highlighter.
All right. Team Devils.
Highlighter it is.
It is the highlighter. Correct. All right. This one is a favorite of mine. So these are my favorite pair of, not my favorite pair, but my favorite Nikes that have ever been made. I've had them all throughout my life. First track shoe by Nike or Conquistador, who defeated the Aztec Empire. Team Devils.
This one took us a little thinking, but I feel pretty good that it was Cortez.
All right. And Team Heart.
Yeah, Michael said the only conquistador he could think of was Cortez, and I said I don't think it's right, but we went with Cortez.
All right. Well, while the last letter might be different between the name and the shoe, it is my favorite pair. My favorite Nikes, Nike Cortez.
Right.
Nice job.
Cool.
All right.
Read it as a god, if I'm not mistaken.
And just for the record, so for everyone who knows, I didn't make the mistake on purpose. It is Cortez with a Z for the shoe and S for the man.
Mm-hmm. You could stop typing now, guys.
Yes.
We know.
All right. Number 9, a Phoenix sports team or defunct division of the Ford Motor Company. Team Heart.
This one took a little reasoning as well. We figured maybe the WNBA team was called the Mercury, and Mercury is a defunct, what would you call it? Division. So we're going to go with Mercury.
All right. Team Devils.
Yeah, that we had clued in on the Mercury being one of the larger branches that had gone defunct from the Ford Motor Company, and I'm pretty sure they're also a WNBA team. So
it is the WNBA Mercury. Whoa.
Mercury.
I had dental work today. I'm having a little trouble. Mercury. There we go.
about that.
My first car was...
I'm sorry, I could have done better on that dental work.
Yeah, it was cheaper, though. It's fine. I saved some money. It's Pendola Care. All right. And number 10, an important Mormon angel or the capital of Comoros. Let's start with Team Heart.
Well, we couldn't get too far on this one, so we're going to go with Xenu, Warrior Princess.
All right. Xenu, Warrior Princess, and Team Devils.
I gotta love the
stunning coincidence that we put down Xenu Warrior Princess.
All right. Well, it is not Xenu Warrior Princess, but it's something that I have been called many times. We put moron in front of I. It would be Moroni. Or Morani, however you say it. So it is Morani, Moroni. Matt, what's the score looking like here?
Yep, so both teams adding 35 points. So the Heart Foundation moves up to 105, while the Devils are at 95. So still a close game.
Very nice, very nice. Just before we move forward, just want to mention if you haven't joined our Facebook group yet, it's called The Crop. So just look
yeah,
on
what the hell, guys?
Yeah, we have a great group of people there. Paul is always on the ball with gifts that he's putting out there. It's great. He answers in GIF only. Michael's there too, but
we got questions every day dropping at noon. Answered by noon 30 seconds later.
Yep.
So you got to get there right on time, or
bring your lawn chairs or some lemonade, some fireworks. We'll have fun. Make sure to come join us there. If you would like to support the show, Jeff will tell you in 2 seconds where they can go.
Of course. That is patreon.com/trivialitypodcast, where you can support the show directly for as little as $1 a month and get some great rewards and really support the show. So if you're interested in doing that, please join us again, patreon.com/trivialitypodcast.
Do $1 a month, $2 a month, or $1 million a month.
That's true.
We're very open to the $1 million a month.
What would the championship rank be if someone were to donate $1 million a month?
I think they could just have it named after themselves.
Yeah.
Masters of the Universe.
They would pick
Master of the Universe.
I feel like it would really be just an indecent proposal situation. So one of us would have to give it up. So, or maybe multiples, all of us.
That's fine, whatever, man.
Let's go down to round 2. I also apparently was in a hip hop theme, so let's see what happens. Originally hosted by Fab Five Freddy, who was then replaced by a Dr. Dre, who was not straight out of Compton, this influential television program aired on MTV and recently celebrated its 30th anniversary in Brooklyn. The original pilot even featured appearances by DJ Jazzy Jeff, The Fresh Prince, and Eric B. and Rakim.
Ken, I got you.
Oh, both teams locked in quickly. I like it. So let's start with Michael. How about you for the Heart Foundation?
This would be Yo 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 MTV Raps.
Okay. All right. And
Hosted by Ja Rule.
He'd be living it up.
And Team Devils.
Always on time.
Much like our the Wham question before, we have Yo exclamation point MTV Raps.
So just a little background here before I say the answer. My family always had a huge garage sale. We had multiple families, multiple houses, and every year I would sit sell soda cans for $1, and I would also sell some sort of cards. And for 4 years in a row, I sold Yo MTV Rap packs of cards to people who no one really bought them though because they didn't want them. But it is Yo MTV Rap, so that's a Neal story for you. I'd sit there trying to hawk these cards, and I ended up opening them myself because no one would buy them. So
That's where the Ed Lover dance comes from, if anyone's familiar with.
No one wanted salt and pepper trading cards. Ugh.
I know, it's a shame. It's a shame.
If you get salt, you got to collect pepper too.
That's right. It's a limited edition.
Yeah.
Oh, you can get salt. You can get pepper. You couldn't get Spinderella
No
for
way.
nothing.
All right, number 2. This first-named, mostly literary character is currently on the small screen in an Amazon series portrayed by an actor who most recently made a smash hit film directing deaf actress Millicent Simmons to rave reviews.
We're locked in.
That's a long way around for that.
That's how I like it.
You guys are in?
Yeah, we're locked in.
Okay. So Millicent Simmons is in A Quiet Place, directed by John Krasinski, who is playing Jack Ryan on Amazon. So Jack Ryan.
All right, and Team Devil?
Yeah, series I'm very much looking forward to, the new Jack Ryan series.
All right, also portrayed by Harrison Ford, Alec Baldwin, Chris Pine, among others. It is Jack Ryan.
Sean Connery.
Well, he was...
Just fucking with you,
My
Neal.
name is Jack, damn it. Okay.
Didn't Jim Varney take a turn at that? No, I might be thinking of something else.
Ernest Goes to Washington.
That would actually be very interesting. Jim Varney is Jack Ryan.
Jim Varney. Ernest Shadow
Clear
Recruit.
present danger, y'all.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
All right, moving to question 3. All their friends may be metalheads, but this band from Gainesville, Georgia, went Broadway in 1996 by releasing an EP of Grease covers.
Locked in.
Yeah, I got
Locked
this
in.
one if you're good with
Alright.
it. Okay.
One of my favorite pop punk albums.
Not surprised.
Let's go to Devils.
Yeah, love me some Less Than Jake.
All right, and Team Heart Foundation. Sorry, I forgot the name of the team.
Say hello to Rockview, less than Jake.
It is Less Than Jake. A lot of music questions on here. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
All right, number 4, while normally a listener submitted question, is also a list. I'm sorry, number 4 is not a
Not
listener.
Normally.
It's the Novocaine wearing off. So the listener submitted question is number 5, but I also have one at 4 here.
All right.
This one's from Intercontinental Champion David Raffetto. Angels with Filthy Souls is a fictitious gangster movie shown within what 1990 comedy?
Yeah, we're locked in.
Yep.
After you locked in here, David will give you until the count of 10 to answer the question. All right,
We're
Team
good.
Heart.
It's Home Alone.
I was going to say this was featured prominently in our Christmas episode.
You filthy animal.
Filthy Animals.
And
Home Alone.
You filthy animals are correct.
It's not correct. Correct answer is Home Alone. You said.
Well, I meant you as a group. You filthy animals are correct. Home Alone.
Fair enough.
Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
It's what you said.
I know. I'll roll back the tape and I'll cut it, but I'll leave it in. All right, number 5 is another listener submitted question. I'm losing it. Question 9. Why do I have question 9? Is from Andrew Brown because I moved it.
5995.
All right.
Let's start over.
The whole podcast.
Question 1. This beanie, baby.
All right, we're going to start it over. Do it live. All right. The listener submitted question number 5 is from Andrew Brown. So thanks, Andrew. Between 1808 and 1821, Portugal's capital wasn't even located in mainland Portugal. It was actually in Brazil, in what city, the second largest of the country?
And if you guys have a question 5 submission, you just send that over to trivialitypodcast@gmail.com. And then when Neal doesn't have time to write a game, we will get them in there for you.
Yeah, speaking of our email client there on the website, I just want to say a thank you to listener Emil Safai. You wrote in that under episode 24, Pocket King Quack, that regarding the question about 9 U.S. sports teams that don't end with the letter S, there are actually 10. We didn't include the LA Galaxy, so thank you, Emil.
I always forget to say 4 major sports. If you include soccer, there's more than 10, I believe. Yeah.
But thank you for pointing that out, because
Chicago Fire.
what helps us is knowing our shortcopings
What's the other one
to get better.
That I wrote a sports question wrong. Shame on me.
We'll lock in.
And what's your thoughts?
The 2 high population Brazilian cities that I know are Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo.
That's exactly what I had.
I think
Gun to my head, I would say Rio's the biggest and Sao Paulo second.
All right. So Sao Paulo, you're good with that?
Yep.
All right. Sao Paulo.
All right, and the Devils.
We actually thought the opposite. Paul and I think that Sao Paulo is actually the larger of the 2 cities for some reason, even though Rio is much more notable. I know Brasilia is also pretty large, but I think that became their capital and people started moving there, so I don't think it's that big yet. So we said Rio de Janeiro.
All right, one team is getting credit, and it's going to be the Devils. It is Rio de Janeiro.
Good job, guys.
Sorry, Ken.
All right.
Thank you,
Tying
Andrew.
it up.
Oh, tied. So what's the score here going second half of this round?
It is tied.
145.
145 to 145.
All right.
Love.
I think it's going to stay pretty tight here throughout the rest of the game. It's probably going to come down to the final. Question 6. Featuring a sample and resung chorus of Forget Me Nots by Patricia Rushen, this song won its artist a 1998 Grammy for Best Rap Solo Performance.
I got you, Ken.
Okay, thank God.
Got anything on this?
No, I'm trying to think of who in 98 would have had a good sample. I could think of later, early 2000 stuff, but
No rap songs use samples.
never. It never happens.
Ding, 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 ding. It's not the same.
Mine version was the ding, 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 a dig, a ding, ding. It's totally different.
It's not the same.
It's totally different.
Of Forget-Me-Nots. Wait a minute. What year was I'll Be Missing You?
I think that could have been, I think, like 97, 98.
Would that be considered a rap solo?
I could see it that way, yeah.
Forget-Me-Nots,
that was
Be
every
Missing
that was
You?
Every Breath You Take by Sting, right?
Yeah, by the Police, yeah.
Yeah, by the Police. Sting and the Police. Could be. I'm pretty sure it was 97 or 98 when Biggie was shot. So
Yeah.
I could see
Fits.
that. Yeah.
All right, let's go with I'll Be Missing You.
All right, Team Devils in with I'll Be Missing You, and let's go to Michael over at the Heart Foundation. What do you got?
If I were to sing you the chorus of Forget Me Nots, it might go a little something like, "These are Forget Me Nots, clap, clap." 1997, everyone had the black Ray-Bans with Will Smith and Men in Black.
And Men in Black is correct.
Makes sense.
Wow, I would not have gotten that at all.
Yeah, it's funny that he won a Grammy for Men in Black. I mean, that's where rap was in 1998, apparently, or what they give awards out for.
Wasn't
classic
it
song.
Miami?
It is classic.
They don't do that anymore, where they have a movie and then a song to tell you what the movie's about in a rap form,
Just
Wish
like
they
Wild
did.
Wild West.
which they should.
It was mostly Will Smith.
And I'll Be Missing You sampled Every Breath You Take.
Yeah.
I think the last time they did that was for Atonement, right?
I missed that one.
Yeah, my favorite rap solo performance is from The English Patient. All right. Number 7. This one comes from listener John Gombis. I hope you don't mind, John, but I reworded it as a variation I believe has been said on the show and some other podcasts, but I just want to make sure ours is a little different. So we all know the famous line from Cheers where Cliff Clavin answers Final Jeopardy with, "Who are 3 people who've never been in my kitchen?" The question mentions stage names for 3 famous actors. Can you give me 2 of the names? I'll either accept 2 of the stage names or 2 of the actual actors whose stage names belong to them for credit.
Can I give you the real name and the stage name of the same person? All right. We're locked in.
All right.
I'm no help on that one.
Okay, they're in. I don't really have any idea on this one other than, I can name people with stage names.
Right.
Do you know?
I don't know the answer. The ones that popped into my head were John Wayne, Marilyn Monroe, and Groucho Marx for some reason.
Yeah, John Wayne and Marilyn Monroe were both in my head too, so I'm
Okay.
happy to go with that. My one other thought was that the punchline might be funnier if they're all like beautiful women.
Right.
You know what I mean? 'Cause-
No, there was definitely a man in there.
okay, so John Wayne and Marilyn Monroe is good with me.
All right, and Team Devils?
Well, the one I'm 99% on was Cary Grant. I really struggled to come up with one of the others. We went Katharine Hepburn.
Okay. Well, for Team Heart, it was not Percy or Norma Jean, but Cary Grant was one of them. So it was the original 3 names were Archibald Leach, which is Cary Grant, Lucille Lesueur, who is Joan Crawford, and Bernard Schwartz, who is Tony Curtis. So those were the 6
not in a
possibles.
million years.
That's how I felt on that one. I was like, I knew I had to lean on Paul. So
All right, well, let's move right on to question 8. Thank you again, John. All right, number 8. Forget about swiping right or left. Apparently, Tony Orlando and Dawn are giving Tinder, Grindr, and other dating apps a run for their money. It's pretty simple, actually. People can let you know if yes, they want you, or no, they don't want you by using what home-based technique?
I got you, Ken.
Yeah, I'm locking in here.
good deal.
All right, so let's start with Team Heart.
I believe they want you to knock 3 times, specifically on the ceiling.
Okay. And what about no?
Oh, for no. Ooh, that I have way less thunder on. Twice on the dock. Twice on the dock? That's my best guess.
Okay. And Team Devils.
It's knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me, twice on the pipes if your answer is no.
Pipes. Damn.
That is going to be credit to Team Devils. It is knock 3 times on the ceiling for yes, twice on the pipe for no.
Isn't a knock on the pipe usually a resounding yes?
To most it is, I think. All right, number 9. I threw a couple sports ones in here, but Matt's not playing. Number 9. Tremaine Edmonds and Terrell Edmonds became the first set of brothers to be drafted in the first round of the same NFL draft. What 2 teams were they drafted to?
I can't do this.
I don't know this one either.
Did you give a year?
It was this year.
Oh.
This year's NFL draft, 2018. Oh, I'm sorry, you were correct. I didn't. But yeah, 2018 draft.
I'm really struggling to remember these guys.
Yeah.
It wasn't the highlight of the draft for you.
No, I feel like one was like a high pick and one was like a lower pick, but the fact that they both got picked was a big deal.
Well, it wasn't. Yeah, I watched up until my team got to pick, which didn't take long as a Giants fan. So.
Yeah.
Go Barkley.
Barkley looks great. He's going to be my first pick in my keeper league, so I'm really
Second?
excited about it. Yeah.
I haven't played fantasy football in a couple of years now, so it's like I've like forgotten everybody who's on teams. Well, we've got like 2 1-32 guesses.
Yeah,
It's
probably not the Giants then.
Probably not the Giants. I don't remember the Bears having them, so that rules out 2 teams.
So you're on your way.
So,
I'm good with those 2.
We're locked.
Yeah.
Okay, Team Devils is locked in. Let's go to Team Hart.
Unless Michael knows I'm out.
I feel like one is the Patriots. I think it's Tremaine maybe that strikes a bell with me. The other would be just a total crapshoot, but I would say the Ravens.
Okay.
Patriots and Ravens. Let's go to Team Devils.
Just by number of draft picks, I figured, okay. I figured the Browns have a lot of them, so maybe they picked them up. And on a random guess, I said Titans.
Okay. Well, Tremaine went to the Buffalo Bills, and Terrell went to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, so not a single one was right.
Nope.
Joining my friend Le'Veon Bell.
That's correct.
Your friend?
I do know him.
Yeah, they get McDonald's all
personally.
the time.
Yeah.
All right. Number 10, to end the round. Rising to fame in the mid-1960s as a comic sidekick on ABC's The Jimmy Dean Show and appearing in several commercials, this Muppet character was the first to achieve national popularity and the first that Jim Henson and Frank Oz performed together.
I have a joke answer.
Yeah, this is all based, if you guys are in Los Angeles at the Skirball Center, there's a awesome Jim Henson exhibit about his life and all the Muppets he created, how his empire started, Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, all that stuff. It's really cool. All right, Team Devils looks to be locked in.
Yeah, I believe we are.
Okay. So my reasoning is picking a Muppet or Sesame Street character in which Henson would do the puppeteering and Oz would do the voice. The obvious answer is Kermit, but I think Henson did the voice and the puppet for Kermit. So if we're going to go with a Muppet proper, I would go with Miss Piggy. If we're going to go with Sesame Street, it could be a toss-up. I really have no idea.
That was actually my joke answer. I thought for a Jimmy Dean sausage commercial, why not Miss Piggy?
All right, Miss Piggy.
Okay, and Team Devil?
And that's exactly how we got to Miss Piggy, too, by the Jimmy Dean Sausage Company.
Well, it is not Miss Piggy, unfortunately. One thing I did learn at the museum, which I thought was interesting, was Miss Piggy was named after Peggy Lee. Miss Peggy Lee. Frank Oz designed Miss Piggy, and it kind of rocketed to fame, so it became more popular. The clues here, if you weren't fans of the Jimmy Dean Show, was that the Muppet appeared in several commercials, and those commercials were for Purina Dog Chow, and it is Rolf the dog.
Yeah. I thought it was the dog, but I couldn't think of his name.
So Rolf the dog. Matt, what's our scores going into the final round here?
Well, it is 155 to 155.
Wow. Pretty crazy. And here's the funny thing. Of all the final round categories, I have all the questions now because I wrote one of them during the game, but number 4 still doesn't have a clue for the final round category name, so I'm going to think of it when I get to number 4. So I'm going to read you the final round categories. As everyone here knows and everyone listening, you guys can wager any and all of your 155 points based on your confidence of these category names, which on this show, sometimes won't really help you.
Misleading.
All right, here we go. The first category is G women.
Like G women.
G, just the letter G.
No, just
G
like,
women.
like G unit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That would be
women.
G women.
Number 2's category is State of Affairs. Number 3 is Remains of the Day. Number 4 is Banned but Not Forgotten.
When you say banned, you mean...
let me clarify. Banned, Banned.
Yeah.
Okay.
And number 5, Sorry to Bother You.
Need somebody to go see that Winnie the Pooh movie with me.
That was good.
I don't want to go by myself.
Yeah.
It's too...
Gotta hit the bumble hard.
What's this guy doing back here? Eating honey?
Yeah. I was like, 1 for Paddington 2, please.
Paddington 2 is fantastic.
I know it's good, but I
You
still
always
gotta see
defend
it.
that movie so quickly.
It's so good. It's a great movie. Both of them are great. Second one's even better.
I
Than the
heard
first
the second one was even better.
one. It is even better.
All right.
Highly recommended.
So,
And all the wagers are locked in.
Thank you, Matt.
All right. Before we get to the questions, just want to say thank you to my buddy Justin Shady, who gave me all of these questions for the show. He's a listener of the show. He's also a good friend, and we write together. He's a great writer, so look him up. He's got a great blog of short films and other content. But thank you, Justin, for these questions. And check out his movie Vendetta if you like The Big Show and Dean Cain.
Who doesn't?
All right. So for these final round questions, the first question, the category was G women. Perhaps the name of a character in John Green's first novel was somehow inspired by this trailblazer. She was the first woman to be a special agent in the FBI. Question 2 was in State of Affairs. What state was retroactively admitted to the Union in 1953 due to what they called a legislative oversight that took place in 1803? Number 3, the category is Remains of the Day. Hailing from Grenoble in the French Alps, this athlete and performer was asked to be cremated upon his death, which resulted in remains weighing upwards of 17 pounds, most likely due to his acromegaly. Number 4, in Banned But Not Forgotten. Despite being banned from MTV for life, Andrew Dice Clay did appear during the 1991 MTV Music Video Awards due to his signature catchphrase being sampled over and over by what British alternative rock band? And number 5, Sorry to Bother You. Director of Sorry to Bother You, Boots Riley, was part of hip-hop group The Coup, who received coincidental criticism in the beginning of the century for their album cover for Party Music, which eerily depicted what event that wouldn't happen until several months later. Okay. All right, all the answers are in. Let's start with number 1. The category was G, women. Perhaps the name of a character in John Green's first novel was somehow inspired by this trailblazer. She was the first woman to be a special agent in the FBI. Matt, what are the wagers?
All right, so the Devils wagered 25 and the Hart Foundation with 20.
Okay.
Ooh.
Team Devils.
Paul and I were going back and forth on this one. He was thinking G, kind of got stuck in that groove of trying to figure out a G name. I'm pretty sure the titular character of that book in Looking for Alaska is named Alaska. That's all we got. Right? We didn't get any further than that. We said it was Alaska.
Okay. And Team Hart Foundation.
We have no idea about G women, apparently, and we're going to go with Xena Warrior Princess.
All right, so a little different from Xenu Warrior Princess. We went with Xena Warrior Princess, which is correct. No. So the clue there Jeff hit on was the character Alaska from Looking for Alaska. The first female special agent in the FBI was Alaska P. Davidson, or Alaska Packard Davidson. So that is the answer. A pretty crazy fact, too. She was hired in the early 20s, and there were only 3 women who were hired as special agents in the FBI. And then from 1929 to 1972, there were no female agents in the FBI. Pretty crazy. All right. Number 2 is in the category State of Affairs. What were the wagers on this one, Matt?
Both teams wagering just 10 on this one.
Okay. A little cautious. The question was, what state was retroactively admitted to the Union in 1953 due to what they called a legislative oversight that took place in 1803? Let's go with Team Hart Foundation.
Well, Louisiana Purchase was 1803. Could have been any of those states, really, but why not just go with the simple answer of Louisiana?
I'm trying to remember. I think they forgot to ratify it or something like that, like some weird oversight. We said Ohio for ours.
All right, and one team will be getting points for this one. It is Ohio.
Wow.
Paul reminded me of something when we were discussing this, and that was people kept claiming from Ohio that they didn't need to file federal income tax because technically they weren't part of the federal government. So
Thank you to the folks from thestraightdope.com for teaching me that one about 15 years ago.
Oh, that's good. It helped you out there. All right, number 3 was in the category Remains of the Day. What were the wagers, Matt?
15 for the Devils and 10 for the Hart Foundation.
All right, I'm sure after this question, Michael there wanted to wager more, but the question was, hailing from Grenoble in the French Alps, this athlete and performer was asked to be cremated upon his death, which resulted in the remains weighing upwards of 17 pounds, most likely due to his acromegaly. So let's start with Michael.
That would be the first inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame, the late, great Andre the Giant.
Want a peanut?
And Team Devil?
Yeah, you got as far as hailing from Grenoble, and I was writing down Andre the Giant.
It is Andre the Giant. All right, number 4 was in the category Banned But Not Forgotten. What were the wagers, Matt?
25 for the Devils and 20 for the Hart Foundation.
All right, when Justin told me this one, I couldn't believe it. It's a pretty cool fact. Despite being banned from MTV for life, Andrew Dice Clay did appear during the 1991 MTV Video Music Awards due to his signature catchphrase being sampled over and over by what British alternative rock band? Let's start with Team Devils.
It's unbelievable. It's EMF.
All right, and Team Hart Foundation?
I thought they sampled the... Oh!
Well,
Well,
it's-
yes, it's EMF.
Yep, sampled,
Both of them.
Sampled both. It is EMF. That was correct. When I found that out, I was like, it makes so much sense. I never even thought about it. Director of Matt, what were the wagers for the category Sorry to Bother You?
So the Devils with 15 and the Hart Foundation with 10.
All right, and the question was, Director of Sorry to Bother You, Boots Riley, was part of hip-hop group The Coup, who received coincidental criticism after their album cover at the beginning of the century, Party Music, depicted what event that wouldn't happen until months later. So let's start with Team Devils.
Yeah, this album cover showed the two of them posing in front of the exploding World Trade Center.
Okay, and Team Hart Foundation.
This question kind of threw me off because I was telling him I listened to The Coup quite a bit at work because one of my coworkers really likes him and puts him on the radio. And I've seen the album cover. Neal informed me that it was pulled and then replaced, so I actually had no idea. But the most important event to the United States, probably towards the beginning of the century, was September 11th.
And it is September 11th. So yeah, the album cover features Boots and his partner standing in front of the trade center as it's blowing up. There is no New York City skyline.
I just looked this up on my phone. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And a lot of people thought that Boots had a detonator, but it was a guitar tuner. And then they basically pulled the album cover, changed it to like a nighttime party scene or something.
All right. After everything is added up, we have the score of the Hart Foundation with 165. But today's cream of the crop is the Devils with 195.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Come from behind. I like it.
Right.
Well done, Paul.
Sweet.
Yeah, it really all came down to that last question. If you guys had gotten it wrong, it would have been tied, and we would have had to go to a sudden death that we probably didn't have questions for. So thank you for getting that right.
We've only had one tie ever, right?
Yeah.
It was like the second episode.
Yeah.
And it didn't go to the runner, so.
Well,
I think we're
good job, guys.
Yeah, good job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Well, yeah, thank you for both of you for joining us. Michael from Myrtle Beach and Paul for joining us today in the studio, making the time. I know you're on vacation, but thanks for hanging out with us.
Hopefully the drive was worth it.
Had a blast. Really appreciate it.
Oh, of course. So any last words, Paul, before we let you go?
No, just thanks again for having me in here, and keep doing it. Love
thank you.
the show.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're always welcome to come anytime. And Michael, any words from you?
Absolutely. You guys can follow me at DJ Dirty Mike on Twitter. It's mainly there's no music there. Don't think I'm an actual DJ. It's in my
What's
head.
your SoundCloud page? Yeah.
It's mainly retweets of things I find funny and wrestling comments. But yeah, if you guys ever
That's
need
good too.
Still sounds worth
a
it.
tag team partner for a wrestling Lay It On Me, please hit me up.
Well, that's good to know. We have one coming out soon, but we'll have to have you on the next installment there. And I'm sure
Mania 4.
I'd love
I'll
that.
be commenting on Twitter with you for SummerSlam this Sunday. So
Fantastic.
I'm looking forward to it. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for listening. Once again, we hit 100,000 listens. Thank you so much. It's all about you guys, the listeners. That's why we make the show the way we do and do our best to deliver a product. For Ken, Matt, Jeff, Paul, and Michael, my name is Neal, and that was Triviality.
Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a good bead on things.
Well, why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it.